What's the logical flaw in a movie that still bugs you while any Christmas movie where Santa is involved in these universes where the film is said Santa exists, right? So why the duck do none of the parents believe in him when a bunch of presents and sheep turn up in their living room every Christmas Eve and they know for a fact that it wasn't them? It's just a massive plot hole that Christmas move is always ignore. Edit how the duck did that gold turn up under the tree when I don't believe in Santa. I want to know what kind of transmissions are in the Fast and Furious cars. 27 up shifts and still grabbing more gears. That stupid ducking microwave weapon in Batman Begins, surely if it was powerful enough to vaporize the water system of an entire ducking city, it would just vaporize all of the city's inhabitants as well. It will happen to be 65% water. Also, apparently, Scarecrow's fear chemicals were in the water supply for ages and nobody noticed until the water was vaporized and they inhaled the steam. Good thing nobody took a ducking shower or anything. The Da Vinci Code bad guy has gun pointed at good guys. Cut to a couple birds flying. Good guys escape. This is the most WTF moment I've ever seen. Nuclear power description in nearly every movie with nuclear power in it. People screaming the reactor is going critical. Okay, that just means it is starting up. We'll have to flood the coolant into the control room in order to cool down the core. What asshole designed that system? Containment is breached. It'll be hours before he can start up. Containment is the ducking building that holds the reactor. If you've breached that thing, you don't have a plant, you've got a bunch of radioactive scrap. Ranted about it before and will rant about it again, but Ariel the Little Mermaid is an idiot. Lots of Disney characters are done, but she takes the cake. Never mind that shit, bargains her freedom and abandons her family to pursue an interspecies relationship with a fish eater she knows nothing about, or that the person she makes the deal with is clearly evil as hell. No, it's her literary abilities that make her the dumbest princess Ariel can write. She signs her name and beautifully for her deal with Ursula. As soon as Eric found her, she could have written down everything in the sand, but nope, better stick a fork in my hair instead. Stupid fish girl. Any scene in a bar, characters order drinks and take one sip then leave. Why aren't you finishing your $7 drink? That's somehow a perfectly fitted exoskeletal suit built for a 6'1" athletic male. Fits every goddamn person in the Iron Man movies. Colonel Rhodes check overweight president. You check tiny as a Pepper Potts. Duquette, why not? Edit. Geez, I'm talking about portrayed size. Everyone, I fully understand 6'1" is not our DJ's actual height. Prometheus, how the two guys gets lost in the spaceship when they have map of the entire place and one of them is an expert geologist 99% of the time. When someone is running away from a car or a boulder or something, they can just turn left or right and be out of harm's way, but no, they must run in a straight line and try to outrun it. And always the sheet out of me. People waking up with obvious makeup on a nice hair. My girlfriend looks that good when she wakes up. She also has my username. Blink twice if you are okay. Guy walks into a bar. 21 girl to guy ratio. Even at the chicest bars, every cute girl is single and just waiting for the main character to stop being so shy and marry her. School of Rock. The whole time I was watching it, I was just thinking about how all those kids were going to have to repeat the grade because of some dumb bus who couldn't hold down a job. They become famous child musicians in the end. Who needs an education then? In Harry Potter, Mr. Weasley's job is to try and understand Muggle inventions, but he has very little understanding or even some of the most basic Muggle technology. Hermione's parents, both models, know about the wizard world. Why doesn't the Ministry of Magic offer jobs to Muggle parents with magical children to help the understand the sheep? That idiot could not comprehend most of the zombie plagues we see in movies would last a matter of days at best. Zombies are basically humans. All the evolutionary advantages humans have over other animals. There are exceptions to this, but it's true with the classic shambling zombie. The Land King Simba and Nala are half siblings ducking magic stealth helicopters. You know that scene where The heroes are standing next to a cliff. And everything is fine until a helicopter suddenly appears from nowhere. Surprising our hero, it shouldn't happen. Helicopters are damned loud, but so many films trick us by hiding something from a server and treating its acid, and from the characters in the fiction of the film they aren't hearing the dramatic music they should be hearing. Deadly whir. In helicopter blades rats don't constantly squeak, they only squeak when surprised or in pain. Dubbing caps meows when their mouths aren't even moving. The text on computer screen making computer why sounds every single. In Back to the Future, why weren't Marty's parents freaked out that their son grew up to look like the guy that helped get them together in 1955? In Gravity, why the hell does she have to let go of the rope? What magical forces causing tension in the road? They're not rotating at all, so they're no angular momentum, and they were both stationary in relation to each other, so why the hell was there any force anywhere other than that fantastic film edit? My third highest comment: didn't expect that one. I knew getting irrationally mad at movies would pay off one day. What about the debris having the same exact orbit as their ship? Oh, when it happens, tell so beyond the orbit of the space station. I only know that doesn't make sense from KSP. Now, why didn't Sandra Bullock just either back into the atmosphere? If Bill Carmen can't do it, then why not her? Seriously though, when they pointed out the window and just went, hey look, it's the ice over there, I was just like, what? No, that's not how space works. Why does Ross, the largest friend, not simply eat the other 5? In movies, good guy is surrounded by 6-10 bad guys. Though 6-10 bad guys are nice enough to attack him one at a time and wait their turn instead of trying them all beat down, in which they all attack it once. The long has run way in Fast and Furious 6. Seriously, it goes on forever. Fast and Furious is not the place for logic, it's the world dreams are made of. Whenever you watch those movies, do it in the mindset of a 10-year-old playing with Hot Wheels. I promise you, you will enjoy them. The blatant physics duck ride is 80% of what I love about those movies. The other 20% is a combination of Michelle Rodriguez and The Rock blasting people in the face out of nowhere. Sam's in Space Pacific Rim. They knew about the rift. Humans weren't just like, whoa, sometimes monsters show up. They knew exactly where every monster comes from. So why did they scatter the Jaegers around the world to try to defend major cities instead of just parking the entire fleet right outside the rift, where they can instantly overwhelm any new KG with sheer numbers? When doctors hit someone with paddles when they don't have a heartbeat, you do not do this under any circumstance. Chest compressions for someone without a heartbeat, paddles for someone within a regular heartbeat. Specifically, The Perch was a movie where the premise is that after coloring the population once a year, the economy becomes stronger and there is less crime because people all get to save it up for that one day. And not how economics works, and b, how do they think crime works? Just look at murder. There are what, 14,000 a year in the U.S. Just about. In that movie, about a third of the characters die. If that were representative of what was happening all over the U.S., that's 100 million people that were killed in that day. That's unrealistic, so let's say 1 stroke 100 people die, or 11000 people die. That's 1,100,000 deaths, respectively. So how are we benefiting from this? That's like 10 to 100 times as many murder as we normally get in a year. Also, we don't have an overcrowding problem in the US for the large part. One in Harry Potter, how did Fred and George not notice Ron was sleeping with a guy named Peter Pettigrew every time they use the Marauder's map to a human is not a battery? You will always get less energy out than you put in. Why did the Matrix not get with the original processor strategy? 3. Basically everything involving a hacker. But that's a boring rant. Minority Report. Tom Cruise is a top cop framed for a murder he didn't commit. He's being hunted, so he swaps his eyeballs to avoid retina scans with me. So far, camera guy, so he gets caught anyway and thrown in prison. No biggie. Because his friends bust him out using his old eyeballs to open the locks on the prison. After all, he was the top cop. and had all kinds of security access that apparently wasn't taken away when he was being hunted, captured, and imprisoned in Armageddon. Why not just train astronauts how to drill? I believe Ben Affleck asked Michael Bay this very question on the set in. Michael Bay told him to go tuck himself during the premonition and final Destination 3. The hydraulics on the roller coaster fails due to one of the main characters' camera falling on the track when everyone gets off the ride, including the person who had the camera. Due to the premonition, there was no reason that the roller coaster should have messed up whenever an ugly girl or guy gets a makeover edit in the last month or week of the school year and is suddenly attracted and everyone notices the man. They all gossip about that person. That never happens. Girl in school has braces, wears glasses, and has dark brown hair. They get the braces off, get contacts, and dye their hair blonde senior year. Gil for being a nobody. Nobody still gives a crap. It's senior year. Nobody will care. People might notice, but they all just think they are trying too hard. And it's a little too late to change anyone's impression of them. Glasses or no glasses, styled hair or no hair, then get asked to prom because people will as me. They're going to put out now that they're trying to have a wild side before graduation when they turn down everyone because of it, including the geeky looking kids, and go alone. Everyone might just as me. They're a closet less or something else offensive to protect their own egos. Then everyone mocks them and they skip prom altogether. They aren't elected prom queen. They don't get the captain of the football team. It just doesn't happen, not like in the movies. Edits for clarification. Tense and turn music.